can get gas here. Sun's going down. Sun's getting real low. Hold up. We them boys. Hold on. We are experiencing problems with mid-grade and premium grade fuel. Well, that's good, because I want the cheap one. $2.69. Nice. Alright. Go. Join me as I fill my tank with gas. There we go. I'm gonna gasolina. Down. That's about right. What's going on? 2 viewers. Remove nozzle. Yay! Pull lover wants a hat change. Hold up. Come on. There we go. Hat change. There we go. This one's a little bit tight on my head, so I'm going to put on a different hat. The reason that I went on stream now instead of waiting like I said I would is because I'm stopped, first of all, so it's more safe to stream live while stopped. But also because I'm in McLean, Illinois, where I've been stopping. You know, this is about the halfway point between Chicago and St. Louis, and my family would always stop here. So I'm about 2 hours away from St. Louis right now, just a little over 2 hours, because it's exit 145 in St. Louis right at the river. But I'm stopping because this McDonald's. Can I zoom in? I don't think I can zoom in. That's fine. This is a McDonald's, and it's next to you can kind of see it's a mobile gas station. Not when I was a kid, it was always a Shell station, and I guess it's a mobile now, and that is so weird to me. Like, this was a Shell station, it's a mobile now. I know that happens from time to time, but for my entire youth and adult life up till now, it's been a Shell station. So, it's very weird that it's no longer a Shell station. All right, just filled up 12 gallons of gas. Bigro, it's a mobile now. Yes, it's a mobile now. Bigro, are you just making fun of me, or do you know what I'm talking about? Receipt, no thank you. All right, here we go, back in the car. Just trying to catch up. All right, so like it's kind of you're just kind of being a dick. It's weird to me. Is all I'm saying. You know, when gas stations from your youth change to other gas stations, it's odd. That's all I'm saying. All right, what should I get from McDonald's? Oh, here's a weird quirk of my car. When I start my car after filling the tank, I have to like rev the engine. I don't know. There's like an emissions thing that's a problem. Which I just got my emission test done 2 days ago, and literally it was like I had my check engine light had been on for like 3 months. Check engine light went off for like 4 days. I'm like, fuck, let me get my emission test now. Got my emission test, and the next day the check engine light came back on. So it was perfect timing. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. There we go. It's a mobile. It's a mobile. This is a Shell station. Now it's a mobile. It's a mobile. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, I'm in the McDonald's drive-thru. It's up to you, pole lover and B-Grow, and anybody else watching, to tell me what I should get before I get there, because otherwise I'm just gonna get what I planned to get in the first place. B-Grow says, I thought you were saying mobile like cell phone. No, I would say mobile, because that's what they say in Pakistan. This, I don't remember what this was. It might have been like an Italian restaurant or something like that when I was a kid, and then it was when I started driving, like 7-8 years ago, it was a Subway, but now it's a Blimpie. So they still have subs, but now it's a Blimpie. It might not have even been anything when I was a kid. It might have just been like empty space. Review agent, I don't like that review kit. Oh shit, that's a great idea. Fuck. That's a really good idea. I don't want to do it though. Shit. I want to get something like I really actually want to eat, but like that's a really funny idea. I had an old ass, disgusting cup of Chick-fil-A lemonade in here. My car is a fucking mess. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, that's not the right button. I don't know if you guys can see the back seat here. A lot of this is stuff that I just packed for this trip. This is my backpack, but it's on top of like a trash box, and there's more trash boxes. All right, let's see here.
I'll be with you in just one moment.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear the McDonald's drive-thru lady, but maybe you can.
Sorry about that. Go ahead and order whenever you're ready.
Hi, can I get a number 2 meal with
Would you like to drink with that?
no pickles, no mustard, add lettuce, add mayo. To drink, I'll get a Coke, no ice.
Would you like shredded lettuce or leaf lettuce added?
Shredded lettuce.
Okay. And what would you like to drink?
Sorry, I didn't say add tomato. I said add mayonnaise. And no pickles either.
Sorry about that.
No problem. And then to drink a Coke, no ice.
Anything else?
That's gonna do it.
All right. I have a quarter cheese meal, no mustard, add shredded lettuce, add mayo, and no pickles, with a medium Coke to drink.
Mm-hmm.
$7.25 at the last window. Thank you.
Thank you. That's an interesting question, B-Grow. Both. Depending on who you ask. So technically, I am from St. Louis. Let me block off my driver's license number here. This is my Missouri driver's license with my St. Louis address that I'm going to right now. I didn't drive on the whole time. But technically, my parents live in Chicago. I live in Chicago. I don't actually have a house in St. Louis. This is my brother's house. It's my driver's license that he doesn't live at either, but that's where I'm going. Because his business partner lives there. Hold on, I gotta pay the McDonald's lady. Oh, nope, she's not here. So technically, I'm going from home, which is technically Chicago, but heart's still in St. Louis. I don't really consider myself from Chicago ever. And St. Louis is where all my friends are. So, both? Question mark. I meant to ask for a small water cup because I got my screen all dirty and I just want to clean it a little bit. Make sure to tell everybody else in the Slack how lit this drive is. Super lit. Son of a bitch, I keep hitting the wrong button. Diego said he just finished watching the first episode of Who is America, predicting the first episode. I don't know what Who is America is. I've never heard of it until like 20 minutes ago when you guys started talking about it in the Slack chat. Let's talk about what I got in my car. This is my Heil Sound PR40 microphone. It's my broadcast dynamic microphone. It's a new mic that I have. You guys, I don't think I've really seen me use recently yet. Because I only got it a couple months ago. Hold on. I'm now moving forward in the McDonald's drive-thru, so I can't really show you a lot more. Give me a second.
Hi, 725.
Can I get a small cup of water as well?
Yeah.
Thank you. Case here, it's fine. Got a little empty Tupperware to put my tooth in. Thanks, Big Bro.
There's your card.
Thank you.
Here's your water.
Thanks so much. This McDonald's used to have an N64 in it, which was awesome. It does not anymore. I believe they realized that the N64 was an old system, but there used to be an N64 with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, like, for a long time. Like, I'm talking about, like, the mid-2000s. Let me
grab your coat.
Thank you. Like, late aughts.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Oh,
Thank you.
I said no ice in the Coke.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that. I will talk about Mike Matheny. Give me a minute. Sasha Baron Cohen. Oh, got it. Okay, I think this has Baron Cohen. That's funny. I did say no ice. I know I don't like being that guy, but I said no ice. Like, if I didn't say no ice, then it's my fault. But I did.
There's that. Have a
Thanks
good
so
one.
much.
Sorry
You
about
too.
that.
No problem. What's going on, Elbon? Alright. Let's throw this crap away. Put my tooth here. Back in the thing. Look, Jiggy, like I fucking said, if I hadn't said no ice, it's on me. But I said no ice, you give me the fucking shit I asked for. That's all I'm saying. I was nice about it. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I said no ice. She said, oh, my bad, and gave me the fucking ice. The no fucking ice, rather. Like the other day, I went to burger joint. Sorry, I took my tooth out because I got to eat with. I can't eat with my tooth in. What I was saying is the other day I went to a burger joint and I got the cheeseburger and I got back and I started eating it. I'm like, fuck, there's no cheese in this. Well, it was. I got the fries, and the fries, I asked for Cajun fries, the fries were Cajun. So I called them and I said, hey, listen, I asked for Cajun fries, I got non-Cajun fries, and then I can come back and get the Cajun fries. They said, yeah, no problem. I went back, got the Cajun fries, walked back to work, and realized there was no cheese on my burger, but I realized I forgot to ask for cheese. You don't ask for cheese, it's your goddamn problem. I'm not eating right now, so I'm gonna keep talking. You don't ask for cheese, it's your own fault, right? I made the mistake, I didn't ask for the cheese, I'm like, alright, I'm not gonna go back and ask for cheese. I fucked up. No big deal. I don't need the cheese anyway. But the Cajun fries I did ask for. If I specifically asked for something, I expect to get it. That's all. If I don't ask for it, it's my mistake. If you make me pay more for it, I get it, but whatever. Yeah, Jiggy asked what happened to my tooth. Yeah, I've had a fake tooth for a while, since like October of 2016. My tooth broke off and I had to get that pulled out again. So I got the fake in like November or December, but yeah, I've had a fake tooth for a while. Sorry, now there's a lot more people here, so I gotta catch up a little bit. Pole Lover told me to talk about Mike Matheny. Yes, Michael Scott Matheny is a bad manager and I guess an okay person, but like he talked about how he was persecuted for being Christian, and like, nah fam, like fuck you, like eat a dick, dude. I don't know, like I like him as a guy, and you know, whatever, he was on the chess ads and stuff like that. I wonder if they had to like pull all the ads with Mike Matheny on it local. I haven't had in my lifetime, Cardinals manager hasn't been fired, at least since I started following the Cardinals. I don't remember when Tony La Russa started, because I wasn't in St. Louis at the time. When I moved to St. Louis, when I started living in St. Louis, I moved to St. Louis. It was 1998, so that's when I became a Cardinals fan. Tony Lewis was the manager. He was the manager for, 12, 13 years after that, and then retired, and Mike Matheny came in, so I haven't had a manager firing. Players, I guess player trades, but not a whole shit ton of players are on like TV deals, and most of them don't, continue to be on the ad. Like, most of them aren't on ads, and if they're on ads, it's probably because they signed a big contract. David Freese, I guess, is the big one, but he's a St. Louis guy, so he continued to be on. But Paul Lover says La Russa started managing in 96. Well, I moved to St. Louis. I moved to America in 95 and St. Louis in 98. So, Betty White on steroids asked why my car is shaking so much. It's a good question. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's shaking a lot, but it's not a specifically, like, this isn't a specifically shaky road, but the car is shaking a little bit. I think maybe it's just like the speed I'm going at. I'm going at 70 right now. I'm going to like 75. Maybe it'll shake a little bit less, but yeah, it is shaking quite a bit. It's a good point. And also, my mount is on the air thing, so I don't know if that's part of it. Maybe Bigro. Jiggy says your tires, homie, they're probably cupped. I might need to get new tires. What do you mean by cupped? When's the last time you rotated your tires? I got new tires, they were used, but I changed my tires like a few months ago, but I wasn't shaking this much, earlier. I know I wasn't shaking this much. I'm feeling it more now than I was earlier. Yeah, maybe I'll get a tire rotation done when I get to my destination in St. Louis. Elbon had to take his brother's taco back into Taco Bell because it came with lettuce even when you asked for no lettuce. Like, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Like, look, Elbon and I don't usually agree on this kind of shit, but, like, if you ask for no lettuce, you expect no lettuce. Sometimes it's fine, like, I asked for no pickles on my sandwich, on my burger, and if I get pickles, it's like, fine, I'll fucking pick the pickles off, it's not a big deal. But you can't really pick the ice out of the drink. Uneven tire wear essentially, that's probably true. Uneven tire wear is probably true because I have had a few accidents in my car, and I think my one of my tires like a little bit I don't know the word for it. I'm sure Jiggy knows the word for it. It used to be more so, a little bit less so now because I've had it fixed. But it's probably my right front tire is probably like a little bit more worn than all the rest of the tires on the inside. So I probably should get a rotation soon. Elbon says lettuce is unnecessary and disgusting. See, like I said, we disagree on pretty much everything else because that's a fucking dumbass opinion. I love lettuce. I specifically asked for lettuce on my quarter pounder. Betty White says, what are your thoughts on zoning regulations? Unfortunately, I don't have any thoughts on zoning regulations. Peter says, I kind of want to see you get pulled over. I have never been pulled over on this drive. I've made this drive a few times, many times. The drive straight shot on 55 from Chicago to St. Louis. I've never been pulled over on this drive. I've had an accident on this drive. It was a single car accident. It was a patch of ice that I veered off the road on. It was in this car actually, and had to get towed. But I've never been pulled over on this drive. Not on 55. On the drive from St. Louis back to Chicago, I got pulled over in Chicagoland on the road because I was driving too fast. Go Fast Eat Ass asks, why are you driving to St. Louis? Couple reasons. So first of all, I live in Chicago. I don't like to live in Chicago, but I do. I'm from St. Louis. I grew up in St. Louis, as you can tell by my St. Louis Cardinals hat and the fact, the everything about me. I don't know who Go Fast Eat Ass is. If you know me, then you know I'm a Cardinals fan. Everybody else knows I'm a Cardinals fan. But I'm specifically driving to St. Louis because why am I driving to St. Louis today? Yes, because again, Go Fast Eat Ass. I don't know if you know who I am or what I'm about, but hold on. This fucking Nissan is trying to pass me from the right lane, so I'm gonna let him go ahead and pass me and then get behind him. But like, I would have been happy to switch lanes for him, but that's fine. I'm going 75, and this dude's trying to pass me into like a 60. So every year I run a game called the Our Baseball Trade Deadline game, except for last year because I was in Pakistan and the internet is much spottier there because it's a third world country, and pretty much all the internet runs off of 4G hotspots. Maybe the Nissan is a cop. No, it's a Nissan. Anyway, so I run the Our Baseball Trade Deadline game, and it takes about a week. It's basically a Monday to Friday thing. We try to do it during the All-Star break every year, except for the first year because it wasn't decided until after the All-Star break. And it's a fun game. It takes a lot of effort to run it, and the first couple of years, I added more people to help me out with it, but I would still be doing work and stuff. Last year, obviously, I was in Pakistan, couldn't help out run it, but this year I decided I wanted to take the whole week off and focus on the game. Because I am a weird person, but it's a fun game. I have a lot of fun with it. It takes a lot of effort, and I wanted to take the week off and focus on the game. And honestly, I was just going to do that. Just take the week off, focus on the game, hang out at home. And then I realized that since I'm taking the week off anyway, I might as well go somewhere. So I'm going home to St. Louis, where just like I said, where I'm from, to visit friends and just hang out. So that is why I'm going to St. Louis. Last I went to St. Louis was February for my birthday. So I haven't been in a few months. I haven't seen my friends and stuff. Also, in May, my best friend had his first daughter. So I would like very much to meet my best friend's daughter. I saw her over Skype once, and he's obviously been too busy to talk to me because he has a baby girl. But I'm very excited to go meet my best friend's daughter. So that's why his 2-month-old daughter that I'm going to visit as well. Fuck, marry, kill, Corey, Desmond, Vieslike. Well, I've met Desmond and Vieslike in person. I have not met Corey in person. That being said, fuck Desmond, marry Corey, kill Vieslike? No, fuck Vieslike, marry Corey, kill Desmond. Because Desmond is a Reds fan and hates the Cardinals. Vieslike just seems like a good fuck. And Corey is great. Marry Corey. Marry Corey is the correct answer. We all know marry Corey is the correct answer. I think fuck Vieslike, kill Desmond. Knowing them in person, Desmond's a nice enough guy, but he's just too quiet. He's not gonna be. I feel like he's either gonna be like an animal in the sack or just like lie there. So I agree with Warble. I think Warble has the correct answer there. Somebody had a question earlier. Oh no, it was the Mike Matheny thing. Yes. So Mike Matheny. Hold on. Fuck. Let me eat my goddamn food. Take my tooth out to start eating. I might talk through eating. We'll see. Hold on. First, let me try the French fries. They're fucking stale. God damn it. Don't you hate when you get McDonald's fries and they're stale? It's the worst. what this Coke is wrong, too. McDonald's is kind of shitty. Oh my god. It's like ketchup falling out of this damn thing. Like I said, I've been going to the McDonald's since I was a child. It was always be the place we would stop on our drive. And their service has always been, like, just okay. We'll see. I'm not gonna go back to Yelp and Betty. The burger's good. Solid burger. This is the burger's of the quality that I expect. Calabons isn't the biggest complaint in the world. I wouldn't really make like a big complaint out of it. I'm just streaming and I need to talk about something. Bigro told me to order 10 things on the dollar menu to review them all. So I wanted to give an honest review of the McDonald's in McLean, Illinois. Which, as I was saying earlier, this is an honest complaint. Because I was saying earlier, when I used to go there, until like the mid 2010s. Well, yeah, until like 2012 or 13, they had an N64 with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on it, and it was the best part of going to that goddamn McDonald's. And they took it away. And I get it, but like, they didn't even put anything in its place. Like, it's not like they put like a Wii there or like a PS2 even. No, they just took away the N64, and there's just nothing there now. Like, there's not even like a place to sit. They just took away the N64. Like, what the fuck? Nothing safer, Bigro. I'm great at driving with my knees, okay? I'm tremendous at it. Bigly. Bo Bichette or Kyle Tucker? I'm gonna go with Bo Bichette. This was great. This is great television. Fortunately, as well, there's no more turns I can miss. I missed the turn 55. There's like a fork at one point in 55 where if you stay on the left side, you end up getting on 71 or something like that towards Peoria. And if you stay to the right, you continue on 55. And I accidentally stayed to the left, so I had to like make a big wheel around. But now it's all good. Sun's going down, which is why this is actually golden hour. So like I think I look how I look, but like the lighting I think is actually quite good right now, which is exciting. I wish I'd thought I was going to stream before I left, because I probably would have grabbed my dad's got like a car mount that goes on the windshield instead of on the air vents like I have, and so it would have been a higher angle than this angle, but whatever, it's fine. Vlad or Acuna? Well, Acuna's in the majors and Vlad's not, but I think Vlad has a higher ceiling. But that might just be because he's Vlad Guerrero Jr., and we know who Vlad Guerrero Sr. is. But Acuna's been great. If the fries were good, would you eat them first? I always eat them first. It just depends. Maybe. Depends on how hot they are. But I definitely like the fries. They're easy to eat. I'm not convinced those are real names, Pole Lover. There's like a little stale, but like at 8 o'clock having stale fries, kind of not cool. I get it, when I go at like 2 in the morning and the fries are stale, okay, I get it. But like 8 p.m. you're right off the highway. No excuse for having stale fries, that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go with Darwinsland Hernandez. I think that was the name, because I like the name better. Darwinsland Hernandez. Times I've been pulled over. So that I think was I think that was the first time I was ever pulled over, was on my way back from St. Louis so I used to live in Joliet, Illinois, which is right off of I-55, and there's a road called 59, a highway, Illinois 59, and that runs through like just west of Joliet. So I used to live in Joliet, so I was very familiar with 59. And I later moved to Algonquin, Illinois, which is far north and west of Joliet, and northwest of Chicago as well. Joliet is south of Chicago. Sorry, I got like food going down. Excuse me. So actually, when we were moving from Joliet to Algonquin, my parents had the iPass in their cars, and I did not. The iPass, obviously, I'm sure you guys have like Easy Pass, stuff like that, where you are, or so, some sort of pass for tolls. And I didn't have that in my car. They did. So the route that I took to get from Joliet to Algonquin was to take 59 all the way north, and then go onto a road called 72. And so a lot of times when I was coming back from St. Louis, that's the route I would take. My dad would usually take a different route that his GPS told him to go on, but it was like a much smaller, like creepy road, like 31 or something. I didn't like that, so I would take 59. So I get off 55 into Joliet on 59, but the problem was I was still going like 60 miles an hour in like a 45, or like 65 or 70. So the cop pulls me over and says, how fast you're going. I'm like, I'm sorry, officer. I just got off the highway. I'm driving back from St. Louis, just trying to get home in Algonquin. And so the officer said, okay, I'm going to have the warning now, but if you're going to drive that fast, get back on the highway. And I'm like, thank you, officer. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. That was the first. I think that was the first time I was ever pulled over. I was like 19 years old. And then, still on that fucking trip, I drive all the way up 59, turn on to 72, I'm on 72, I'm almost home. I lived right off a road called Randall Road. It's like the main road that runs through Algonquin. right off of 15. I'm on 72. I'm just about to turn onto Randall, and then it's another like 5 miles to my house, and I get fucking pulled over again on the same goddamn trip. And the officer says, "Son, you know your lights out, your headlights out." I'm like, "No, officer, I didn't know that. I'm driving home from St. Louis right now. My light must have gone off sometime in the last hour or so because I was totally fine until right now. Like, I got pulled over an hour and a half ago, and the police officer said nothing about my headlight." And then, all right, also your plates are expired. I'm like, "There's no way my plates are expired. I just put the sticker on last week." So the officer goes back, whatever, takes a look, comes back, says, "All right, I'm going to give you a warning for the headlight. Make sure to get that changed right away. I checked your license expiration. It isn't expired. Your sticker must have fallen off. Make sure to get a new sticker." I'm like, all right. Finally, I fucking go home. Dealt with all that stuff. Everything was fine. Those were the first and second time I was pulled over on the same goddamn drive home. It was infuriating. Twice I've been pulled over for not turning my headlights on until about 2 seconds after I got out on the road, which is, again, fucking bullshit. One time, I was pulling out of Home Depot. We had moved again after we moved from Algonquin to our current home in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, and my parents told me to go to Home Depot to get something. I don't remember what it was now. Or at least look at something. I don't remember. I did get off easy, big girl. I totally got off easy. But also, I didn't really do anything wrong. My headlight went out on my drive, and I had re-upped my license expiration. Anyway, I don't think I didn't get off easy, but that area, Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, is well known for fucking people over like that. Like pulling people over all the time. And also, like, I was just pissed because I had just gotten pulled over an hour earlier. But yeah, no tickets. I don't think I've ever gotten a speeding ticket. Not to my recollection. I've gotten parking tickets, never a speeding ticket. But speaking of parking tickets, parking tickets come up in a second. So I was pulling out of Home Depot. Literally, I pulled out of the parking lot and then turned my lights on. I pulled out of the parking lot, turned my lights on, and a police officer pulled me over and said, "Son, your lights were off." I'm like, "Yeah, I turned them on." Like, whatever. Anyway, he let me off with a warning too. This was, I don't remember if I don't remember if we had already moved to Algonquin, or moved to Hoffman Estates, or if we were in the process of moving and we still lived in Algonquin. I don't, because Hoffman Estates and Algonquin, it's about a 30-minute drive. So, like, or not even a 30-minute drive, but like a 15-minute drive. So, like, we didn't move, that much. I'm sorry. We were moving from Mount Prospect to Hoffman Estates. So it's about a 15, 20-minute drive. Not a crazy long drive. It's all, same roads, same highways. Like, I was living in Mount Prospect and going into the same malls I go to now in Hoffman Estates. So it's like, they're pretty close to each other as far as suburbs go in Chicago. But I was at that Home Depot, and I think I was going back to Mount Prospect, and a cop pulls me over for having my headlight off. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Bigor says, "Did you just leave Chicago? Where are you currently?" No, McLean, where I was earlier, where I stopped at the McDonald's, that's the halfway point from St. Louis to Chicago. So I am about 2 hours out of St. Louis right now. So that was that time, and then I got pulled over again like a year later for my headlights being out. This was last February, or last March. This was last March. I remember because it's interesting. So I had missed a couple court dates. And apparently there's a warrant out for my arrest. I did not know this, but there was a warrant out for my arrest. So I applied for a supervisor position at AMC, which I currently work as. I'm a supervisor at the AMC at Streets of Woodfield 20 in Schaumburg, Illinois. None of my views reflect the views of AMC theaters. So I had a warrant out for my arrest for a missed court date. Jesus fucking Christ, this car is like right on my ass. when I applied at AMC, they ran a background check, and the background check wasn't coming back from Elgin, Illinois, or whatever, from Kane County, Illinois, home of the Kane County Cougars, actually, where the minor league affiliate of, I think, the Diamondbacks now. I'm not sure. Somebody can look it up for me. I think that this is the single A, like high A, or maybe low A. I'm not sure. But I'm driving back. Whatever. I had a warrant out in that county, and so my background check was taking a long time to come back from Elgin because that's where I had that warrant. And so I'm driving home from AMC where I work. I went to with my now ex-girlfriend, who was not my girlfriend at the time, just a friend of mine. We went to a trivia night at the company that I now work for, the trivia company that I work for. Went to that trivia night, and then after we finished that trivia night, I was like, hey, you want to go see a movie? I said, sure. And we saw The Cure for Wellness. On the way out of The Cure for Wellness, I was on my phone, the door hit me, and I reflex action, dropped my phone, shattered my screen, phone stopped working. I'm like, shit, that sucks, I'm gonna have to buy a new phone screen, fix my phone. Fuck. Oh well. Which, by the way, did not go well. I had to end up using my old phone because my phone screen didn't get fixed. That phone completely does not work now. Try to get it fixed by a professional. It doesn't work. Anyway, beside the point. So, had that happen, and then, after my phone shattered, whatever, we go to my car, I set the phone down, and we start leaving, and again, pull out of the parking lot, turn my lights on. Cop pulls me over and says, son, you know your lights are off. I'm like, I just turned them on. He's like, all right, well, let me run your license registration. I'm like, fuck, whatever. So he goes and runs my license registration. And then another cop car pulls up, and he comes up and he says, you know, there's a warrant out for your arrest. I'm like, I did not know there was a warrant out for my arrest. I don't know what's going on. So then the cop, you know, whatever, he has to take me in. I get arrested. My then friend, later girlfriend, now ex, has to take my car back to, because we took my car from the trivia night to AMC, and she left her car there. Because whatever, we would drive back to the bar. She would take her car home. I'd go home. So she drives my car back there, takes her car, and whatever. And I have to go and call my dad and have him bail me out of prison. And actually, that same night, I told her, I messaged her. I'm like, hey, I got from my dad's phone. I logged into my Facebook. I was like, hey, look, you have my car keys still? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have my dad come drop me off. Can you please take me back to the venue so I can spend as little time with my dad as possible? Because he just had to pick me up on a fucking warrant, and that is very awkward. I don't have to deal with it. So anyway, that's what happened. That was I think the most recent time I got pulled. Oh no, the most recent time I got pulled over was actually no. There were two more times I got pulled over more recently than that. Most recent time was just on my way home. Again, my headlight went out. Said, sorry, officer, didn't know. Must have just gone out. I usually keep a spare in my glove compartment. Can't find it. I'll run to Walmart tomorrow and grab one. I'll get on my way home from work at 2 a.m. And then the time before that was the time I got pulled over for driving while brown. I was going to a grocery store. I got off work. I was going to the Jewel Osco by my house, which is a grocery store. And they were closed. I didn't realize they closed at midnight. I said, okay, well, I'm already heading this direction. Let me go to the next nearest grocery store, which was a couple miles away. And I missed a left turn for that store, and the police pulled me over and searched my car and everything. And I was pretty pissed because I didn't do anything wrong. I just missed a turn, and they pulled me, asked me to, they said whatever, they wanted to check my license. They said my headlight was out. I said okay. I got a spare headlight in the glove. Again, my headlight was out, which was whatever. But I said I was spare headlight in the glove compartment. I'm happy to change it right now in front of you, officer. So that's not going to be necessary. Goes back, checks my license, gives me a warning, and then again another cop car shows up and says, look, you're off now, but if you wouldn't mind, can we search your car? Because blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, fine, go ahead and search my car. Which I should have said no, but I'm brown, it's 2 in the morning, and I don't want to give the officers a reason to suspect me for anything. So I let them search my car, which, by the way, they were looking for weed. They did not find weed. There was weed in the car. Anyway, they went through, searched, whatever, let me go, and I was like, pretty pissed, because I did nothing wrong, at least not as far as they knew, and yeah, it was a frustrating experience. I think I might have tweeted about it. I don't know. If I did, you can go back through my Twitter and see all that. But yeah, I was pretty livid about that at the time. Still pretty mad about it. It was annoying. Which is funny because the night before, my car had been out of gas, and I was like, oh shit, let me go get. I was low on gas. I'm like, I gotta stop at a gas station and go get gas. So I wasn't going to the nearest gas station to me. There's a gas station like a little bit up the road that was a little bit cheaper. So I said, okay, cool, let me go to that gas station. I know I'm low on gas, but I should have just enough to get me there. I did not have just enough to get me there. I had just enough to get me about 2 miles short of there. So I'm like, fuck, okay, well, I guess I'll walk the rest of the way. My first mistake was not just stopping at one of the gas stations very close by, getting a gallon because I was so low, and then going the rest of the way and filling up. My second mistake was, once I did stop and had to walk, I had shoes in the car. I think I had this pair of shoes in the car, actually. My New Balance, I forget the model of them, but I think I had these shoes in the car, but I was wearing my brand new flip-flops, and for some reason I decided, let me wear my flip-flops and walk to this fucking gas station. I don't know why. It was a dumbass move. Elbot says, why is your headlight always out? It's not always out. It's just, it's been out a couple times. Like I happen to get pulled over. Headlights aren't that expensive. It's $20 for 2 headlights. I always keep a spare in my car because headlights go out, and that way I can swap it when I need to. Anyway, that night I decided for some reason to walk in my fucking flip-flops, which I could grab. No, actually they're in the trunk, so I can't grab them. But I wanted, whatever. I was wearing them. I was like, oh, whatever. New flip-flops, let me wear them. And so I started walking, and they were like digging into my foot. I got I think I still had like a scar from a scab I got from those goddamn flip-flops. It's a dumbass move. Anyway, I did have a gas can in my trunk. I still do, for emergencies like this. So I start walking, and then I turn right on a road because I know there's a gas station right there. And I said, okay, cool. I'll walk to that gas station, fill this tank up, walk back to my car, fill up my car with a gallon, and then go to the gas station. I'll be fine. As I start walking, a police officer sees me walking with the gas can, and he stops. He says, hey, is everything okay? I said, officer, I ran out of gas down the road, put my hazards on. I'm trying to go get gas. And he said, I was going to the Shell station right over here, as my phone said it was the nearest station. He said, well, that Shell station is closed right now. They close at midnight. I said, okay? I did not know that. So there's a Thornton's right up here. I can take you there, and you can fill up his gas can. I said, okay, great. So he loaded me in the car. We went and got gas, and then he took me back to my car. It was a great experience. The guy was really nice, and actually it's funny because he said, if you would Capitan, if this had happened to you 3 miles south of you, you would have been in Elgin, which is the next town over, and those police aren't as nice. And guess where the next fucking day I got pulled over for driving while brown, that fucking story where they searched my car was in goddamn Elgin, 5 miles south of where that dude pulled me over, where that dude found me and helped me get gas. So, yeah. Elbon says, I don't think we've ever had a headlight replace. I'm sure you're wrong. You're 14 years old and don't know what you're talking about. But even if you're not wrong, it happens all the time. Depends on the car. If you have an LED, newer cars, which you probably have LED headlights, and LEDs don't go out as quickly as halogen bulbs. But headlight replacement is common. It's super, super easy to change the headlight in my Jetta. Like literally, you pop the hood, pull the back off, twist it, put the new light in, put it back in, twist it, and close the hood. It's super, super easy because headlight replacements are pretty common. But I would bet that you, again, either just don't know because you're young and haven't seen it done, or possibly your parents have a newer car and that has LED bulbs, and LED lights last a lot longer than standard halogen bulbs. Well, I'm switching lanes here. questions. Do you have any more questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, aspirations from the chat? It is now nearly 9 o'clock. It's 8:49. I'm now passing exit 98. So I'm about 100 miles from St. Louis, which is about an hour and a half. Actually, I'm driving around almost 80 miles an hour, so probably a little close to an hour 15. So I'll probably be there right around 10, which is nice. I told my brother's business partner who runs the Airbnb that I'd be there at 11. So 10 o'clock, not bad. Maybe I'll text my cousin and go grab my lighter from him tonight. Oh no, because I do need to go because my laptop battery, I think, is sitting waiting for me at my house. Professor What says, remember when I drove a Beetle, fam? I do. Don't know why. I mean, obviously I know why. You couldn't choose a different car. You drove the car you had. That's a funny story. So one time, I was driving to Chicago. Again, living in St. Louis, I had a day or two off. I think I had like a day off. And I had a court date in Chicago. This is why I didn't know that I had a missed court date on my record, because I had gone to a court date, and I guess I didn't realize I had another court date. Whatever, mistakes happen. So I had a court date in Chicago at around 7 a.m. And I think this is almost definitely, yeah, my car, not this car obviously, the car I was driving before this was stolen in St. Louis. It was just straight up stolen out of my garage. Haven't seen it since. It just got stolen. Life sucks. Shit happens. Oh, forgot to put my phone back on the plug. Hold on, let me make sure it's charging again. There we go. Cool. So I didn't have a car. But I had to be in Chicago the next morning, and then I was gonna come back down because I had to work the next day. I think I had to work the next day. I'm sure I had to work the next day. Usually that was how it goes. So and I didn't want to like take a bus or whatever, because then I had to like get this bus and take it up and make sure, then somehow get from the bus that takes you into downtown Chicago to the suburb that my court date was in, and then get back to downtown Chicago, and then take the bus back down to St. Louis, which would then get me close to where I live in St. Louis. So I couldn't really do all that. I needed to do something more reliable that would get me straight there and straight back. So I rented the car. I was 23 years old, I think, at the time. And so, everything was fine. I went. I think I took the bus to the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rented. I walked in and I said, I want to rent your cheapest car. What do you have? I said, okay, cool. They're going to be, the small side, compact car. He said, we have right now a Dodge Dart and a Volkswagen Beetle. I said, shit, I don't want to drive a Beetle. So I said, okay, well, because I think Beetles are dumbass cars, and I'm not a big fan of them. So I say, what gets the better gas mileage? And he says, the Beetle. And I say, I was hoping you wouldn't say that, because I very much don't want to drive the Beetle, and I wanted a logical explanation for it. But I don't think I can find one, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Dart. So I rented a Dodge Dart that evening, or that afternoon, and later that evening drove to St. Louis. I basically drove to Chicago. Elgin. So I basically drove straight to my fucking court date. I think I was almost late. I don't remember exactly, but I drove straight to my court date. I had to, because I had like a dress shirt and dress pants, and for some reason my dress pants, like I tried to put my dress pants on, there was something wrong with them, I think, or maybe I forgot to grab them, I don't remember what it was. So at some point I had to stop at a Walmart on my way there to buy like black dressy pants for this court date. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not missing any exits. Nope, I am still going on 55 South. Cool. Went to this court date, did all that. Went to actually the Best Buy where I used to work, say hi to those people, like, hey, hi, what's up, how's it going? Went to the mattress firm that was right there, because I thought, oh, maybe if I like sneak a little bit, I could take a small nap. Was not able to take a small nap. because whatever. Like but I did. I laid down a little bit, as if I was shopping for mattresses. But it felt all right. And then I started driving back to St. Louis, and like an hour and a half into the drive, I'm like, I cannot make this drive. Like, I was falling asleep at the wheel because I'd been up for a lot of straight hours, and most of them were spent driving. 5 hours to Chicago, 5 hours back to St. Louis, an hour or two court date, and I hadn't slept before driving. I woke up that morning, went about my day, rented the car, and then drove to Chicago. So I'd been up for at least 24 hours, probably longer than that. I'd probably been up for 30 hours at that point. So it was, so at some point an hour into my drive, probably just south of Joliet, which is the end of, suburbs, quote unquote, I decided I needed to stop somewhere. So I found a church parking lot and parked in the church parking lot and took an hour and a half, 2-hour nap, and then drove the rest of the way, and I was all right. But for me personally, that's the place you want to park to nap, is at a church, because churches, nobody's gonna come rob you at a church parking lot. So, in my opinion, this was I must have been 21 actually. This was 4 years ago. I was living in St. Louis in 2014, 2015. This was after my car was stolen in October 2014, August 2014. Sometime in 2014, so it must have been 2014, because later in 2014, my dad let me borrow his car. So yeah. My parents don't know that I had that court date. They don't know that I was in Chicago for a day. I could have come and visited them. I didn't. I drove there and drove right back. Nobody knows I did it except my brother and my roommate at the time, and now you guys and everybody I'm watching on the internet. And I guess maybe I told my friends, I don't remember. I think I just told my friends I'm renting a car for a day because I had some errands I had to do that I needed a car for. Yeah. Yeah, so parking in a church parking lot because nobody's going to rob you in a church parking lot. It's a fucking church. I don't know. For my money, that's where you should go. Let's see, I think somebody's asking me something important. Professor What asks, Professor What asks, what's the first trade that's going to happen at the deadline? I believe the first trade that's going to happen is going to be, I don't know, Bonsai Joe for Professor What. I don't know. That's a rough joke. Machado probably is going to be a big one. If that happens at the deadline, it's going to happen. But I don't know. I mean, the trades happen all the time. There's going to be small trades. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Everything will be alright. And they keep asking you. 22. Yeah. 22. It feels like a perfect night to make fun of our exes, to dress up like hipsters. Whoa, you. We're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. It's miserable and magical. Mystical and magical? Hashtag Kuhan Bus for Hope. Joe, I am unable to switch from the Twitch app while streaming. Hold on, I don't know. I'm trying it. people are asking me things. First of all, can somebody tell I am a Deinonychus that I'm driving right now and cannot make trades? Professor Joe, can you tell me what Duco's asking me if I want to break on my stream because I am driving? Thank you very much, Pole Lover. Sorry. I don't know what trade he's talking about, Pole Lover. He said the IRL trade. We briefly discussed a trade, but oh, gotcha, Joe. Yeah, I mean, we can announce the new GMs for sure. I don't know if we should do one tonight. I don't know. I'd be fine with doing one. If we are doing one, it's going to be in half an hour. So this is, I guess, the pre-show for it. Yeah. Oh, gotcha, Elbon. Is Vslike still watching? Is Vslike the commissioner of our trade? Who's commissioning our trade deadline league? Whoever's commissioning our trade deadline league, I accept. I approve. If IMA wants to make the IRL Rangers trade, I'll make that trade. Did I say GMs? I meant for the commissioners. The commissioners for the trade deadline. The trade not the baseball trade deadline game. I know Vslike is. I don't know if anybody else was. If it's just Vslike, if Vslike is watching, then I approve. If Vslike's not watching, then I guess I can wait to approve, or tell Vslike to watch so I can approve. That works too. Once somebody messages on Slack, I'm able to respond to it, but I can't just go into Slack because then the stream will end. It's fine, we're good, because Pole Lover just said it, and I said yes, so hopefully that's good enough. If it's not, then it's fine, because once I end this stream in 15-20 minutes, and we go live with the trade deadline game stream, I'll be able to actually post in the Slack, although I'll still be driving, and it's still not safe. Vslike, I approve. Approving of trade. I approve the real life Rangers trade that I am also proposed we make. I'll do it. It's happening. Whatever the terms of the IRL trade are, I'm fine with that, because the Rangers GM knows what he's doing in real life. Probably. Hopefully. Right? Who's the Rangers GM in real life? Oh man, hold on. It's, I know this. I know this. I don't know this. Hold on. Wait. Tom, Bill, John Daniels. I knew that. I knew it was John Daniels. Alright, I'll probably stop streaming in about 12 minutes here at 9:15, just so I can make sure Google Hangouts works, and then we'll probably get started with the YouTube live of the trade deadline game the night before stream. I don't know if my car stuff's gonna be a problem or not. We'll see. We'll find out. But So this is, I guess, pre-show for that, and then we're just gonna do a little bit of probably setting up there. If you, Joe, if you want to relay to Duco that we should probably get started with the call around 9:15 so that we can hit go on the stream at 8:15 Mountain Time, just so we can go right on with the stream right at 8:30 Mountain Time with whatever we've got. That's good. That's, I think, a plan. Pole Lover said, if you forgot to sign up for the trade deadline game, no worries, Pole Lover. Sign-ups are still open at YOLO420.com/some. Joe, I don't remember what it is. I think it's 2018 sign-ups. I forget. Or just go to Our Baseball. It's the top post on Our Baseball. It's sticky right there. Who's the Red Sox GM? Is it somebody good? Because I bet they're not. They're not as good as Paul Lever would have been. Warble, I know, is our Angels GM, because I think I made him do it a year or two ago, probably last year. But I don't remember who our Red Sox GM is. I think it's just some guy. Paul Lever just signed up, yay! As I said, I'm driving to St. Louis because I took the whole week off to run the trade deadline game, and technically I can do that from anywhere in the world, so except for Pakistan apparently. But I can do it from pretty much anywhere, and so I just happened to do it from St. Louis. Is it raining there, Vstlike asks. It is not raining yet on my drive. My cousins told me, my cousin's wife told me that it was, the forecast is thunderstorms, but I'm about, I would say, 80 miles out right now, and I see I've seen no rain on my drive yet. It was raining yesterday in Chicago. We did really big business at AMC because of the rain, but I have seen no rain on my drive. Joe says anywhere domestically. I probably could have run the game from Pakistan, really, if I really, really wanted to, but I had a bunch of family who I hadn't seen in about 5 years, and I like to spend as much time with them as possible. But really, if I had really, tried, I probably couldn't have run streams, but I could have run most of the game from Pakistan. And the other thing is the time difference, so I wouldn't have been up during the times, but I could have run like the late night version of the game. Like, we could have run 24 hours last year because I was on the other side of the world. To be fair, I did do like a little bit from Karachi, and I also did a little bit from Abu Dhabi. But like I said, the big concern really was that I wanted to spend time with my family who I don't see often, who I'm going to see again this December. Like, if we were running the game, well, no, that's not true. But I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I wanted to spend time with them. But I'm going to see them again this December. Like, we're going to see each other more often now that everyone's getting married, and some of them are moving places. Like my cousin lives in St. Louis, so I'm going to see this on this trip, and his wife, who he got married to a year ago, probably a year ago this week. Oh shit, am I gonna be in town for the anniversary? Fuck! I was at their wedding and I don't remember when the anniversary is. Shit. Anyway, yeah. Feels like this is a permanent move or just a visit. This is entirely just a visit. It's just because I took a week off from work and I decided I could visit. I am thinking about permanently moving to St. Louis. I probably should have applied for a bunch of jobs before coming down here for this trip that I had planned, so I could do job interviews while I was here. But oh well, that's fine. But I have been applying for jobs in St. Louis, and so there's probably going to be some point in time where I'm going to, have to take a couple days off of work every month or so, or every couple of weeks, just to drive to St. Louis and do a job interview. But right now I'm just visiting. But, or who knows, I might even convince my general manager to let me transfer to a place in St. Louis because I'm moving, like, just to decide, hey, I want to move to St. Louis, can you transfer me to St. Louis, and then I look for jobs there. But I think that's irresponsible. It would be better off to find a real career job and then move there instead of moving AMC jobs. But we'll see. Joe says, how do you justify this to your management? I didn't. I just requested a week off and said, hey, I'd like to take a week vacation. And he said, okay. My general manager doesn't like to deny vacations. He prefers to approve vacation time. I had 2 managers on vacation at the same time a month ago, so he prefers to approve vacation time. So he did. Yeah, V's like, we did talk earlier about moving him permanently, and it's definitely still in consideration. I just, I was really hoping I would get this job at Shure, the microphone company, which my Shure microphone's in my backpack. I'm not going to grab it now, but I was hoping to get that job at Shure. I didn't. I mean, I don't know if I didn't. They haven't called me back. I'm probably going to call them tomorrow and be like, hey, I applied about 2 weeks ago. I was wondering if there was, like, you know, any word, or if, you know, like, I was really, you know, something like that. But I've got nothing beyond the initial, we received your application. What was weird was when I applied, by the way, I'm 73 miles now from St. Louis. When I applied, it gave me a little response book thing that said, we received your application. But when I tried to view my resume in the page, it wouldn't show it to me. And so I was very confused, so I hoped that they got my resume, because it's possible they didn't, I understand the idea that you might not want to, like, be like, hey, can you resend your resume? We had a problem, because if that happens, you can do that for everybody, do that for everybody. But, you know, I would hope that they would do something like that. My dad has a former coworker who's now a high up at a different company, who used to work at Shure, like, knows the former, like, the Shure brothers, who, it used to be Shure Brothers Company, now it's Shure Incorporated, but it used to be Shure Brothers. She knows the Shure guy, like the Mr. Shure. So he told her that I applied, and, you know, she hopefully put in a good word for me, so I was hoping I'd get something from them, but I've got nothing yet, so I've got fingers crossed on that one. But right now it's been 2 weeks with no word, so I should probably start applying for other jobs. I did have a job in St. Louis that they asked me for a writing sample, and I never gave it to them because I didn't have a creative writing idea or a creative writing sample to send them, you know, that was probably a bad move, but whatever. It's now been too long to respond to them, but I'll definitely keep applying, and hopefully I get something good. Because like sister, try to call her if you can get her info. I asked my dad to, like, ask if, you know, she got anything, and he said she hadn't responded to him. And I understand, he said not to pester her, and I get it. You know, she was putting in a good word for her friend's son, who she doesn't know, she just heard about. Just putting in like a nice word for me. But I don't know. He has her contact info, like, he talks to her. Not regularly, but, like, I think he texted her out of the blue for the first time in a long time. But I said, like, you know, like, would you mind just shooting her a message, like, hey, any word, just talk to somebody, like, but, my dad's just the kind of guy who decided, who thinks that's not something that should be done. Which I get it, you know, I don't want to pester somebody, but, like, it had been a week and a half when I asked him to maybe just ding her, just, like, ask her, like, hey, you know, any word or anything. Nothing, you know, I get not asking somebody every day. It's like, hey, it's been like over a week, would you mind, you know, just shooting her a message just to double check? But whatever, it's fine. Plenty of people don't get jobs, so, like, that's what life is, you know. I'll apply for other things and hopefully I get something. I applied for a bunch at one time and only got one response back, and that was the one that I should have responded to and didn't, like an idiot. But this one was the one that I was really... This is the only one that I applied for in Chicago, because Shure is a company who I'm a big fan of them. My dad's been using Shure microphones... not Shure microphones. He's been using his Shure SM58 for 15 years, I think. Like, I'm very impressed with Shure. I don't have... Like I showed earlier, my broadcast microphone. This is my high LPR 40, which I probably shouldn't do this while driving, but it's fine. My high LPR 40 microphone, which is my broadcast dynamic microphone, which I'm going to be using for my streams this week. But I'm a big fan of the Shure SMB, which is their sort of their not version of the high LPR 40. It's just they're both competing products, essentially. Their product in the same market. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, I I would love to work for Shure. Shure is like one of like the 5 companies in Chicago that I'd want to work for. Shure, Canon, stuff like that. Whereas in St. Louis, I'll work anywhere in St. Louis. I like St. Louis. I don't really love Chicago, but if I find a job in Chicago for a company who I really want to work for, whose ethos I like, whose mission I like, whose products I like, even, I would like to work for them. Elbon says, "What is your dad's job?" My dad is a project management consultant of some sort. That's a good joke, Joe. That's an inside joke. My dad is a project management consultant. I'm pretty sure. I'm iffy on exactly what he does, but as far as I know, he goes in and develops a training program for companies, and then teaches the trainers how to use that training program for their new whatever training they're doing. But my dad's also 65 years old. So, Joe's joke is that my script, I wrote a sitcom pilot about my life, and in that sitcom pilot, my ideal casting for my father was Kumail Nanjiani. So, yes, Elbon, trainer for trainers. That might be wrong, because I had mentioned it to my mom at some point. She said, no, it's not exactly right. But essentially, that's kind of what he does, is he makes the training program and then teaches the internal people how to run the program, and then they run the program. All right, it's about 9:15, so I'm probably going to hop off here in just a minute or two here. Thanks for watching, guys, as I streamed my drive from Chicago to St. Louis. I love that, like, the 6 of you like to watch me do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. In about 15 minutes or so, we are going to start on the YouTube Trade Deadline Game channel to stream about the Trade Deadline game. So get ready for that, and I'm probably gonna have Joe post that in this Slack chat for you guys, and then maybe we'll tweet about it. We'll see. But yeah, so check us out for that when that goes live in about 15 minutes. But thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.